Hey, welcome back. Super Slide 75 movie reviews with a twist. Today we're going to talk about Sicario 2 Day of the Soldado. I can't call it an exact sequel because if you watch the first one, which I highly implore you to watch the first one was epic. It was great from start to finish. You have to watch the first one to kind of get your footing on the background characters played by Benicio del Toro and Josh Brolin. So at the end of the first one, it's implied that Benicio's character, pretty much killed the main cartel guy that was responsible for killing his wife and daughter. In this one, it's implied that there's more cartel members or bosses that gave the green light to go after Benicio's family. Okay, so now in the first 10-15 minutes of it, the first opening act, you had three Arab jihadists commit mass suicide bombings. Very, very disturbing to watch. So which prompts the U.S. to hire or bring back in Josh Brolin's character, and I totally forget his name. But the kicker is, apparently the Mexican cartels are helping the jihadists usher in the terrorists through Mexico. Because in the opening scene, they're crossing the border. You see three prayer rugs. One of them blows themselves up. But you realize towards the end or towards the third act that they're looking for the identity of the other two remaining bombers and not the first one. And the other ones are from Jersey. But neither here nor there. So they decide to launch a counterattack, counteroffensive, bringing in Josh Brolin's character to create a war between the two cartel members, the Matamoros and the Reyes. Okay, so they bring in his asset, which is Benicio's character, to kind of get dirty. So thus they decide to kidnap Reyes' daughter to blame it on the other cartel member to start a cartel war, which is pretty smart. So then once first thing they do is kill the Matamoros' head legal attorney, and that's some particular scene where you see Benicio pretty much just let off all the rounds in his Beretta at the fat man in the glasses. Okay, so then they stage this. They kidnap Reyes' daughter. Then the side story, which connects towards the end of it, is there's a young kid, Mexican American, and he's being swayed by his cousin to be what they call jackals, or mules, or coyotes rather, to be a coyote to smuggle in immigrants from the border from Mexico to America. So you have that side story going on. Subsequently, the young kid, where he gets the instructions from one of the middle jackal guys to do the smuggling. He actually almost gets hit by Josh Brolin's character and Benicio's character in a car in a parking lot in the mall. That's going to come back to play later on. Okay, so then Benicio kidnaps the girl. Him and a couple of other Delta Force members have her holed up. Of course, she's bound and gagged, whatever the case may be. So they fake a staged rescue, like they rescued her, and then they're faking, like, posing like DEA agents. It's pretty slick the way they orchestrated the fake rescue. So they stash her to a military base. She's not stupid. She already knows that they're soldiers and not so much cops. So now they've agreed to set up a meeting to hand back Reyes' daughter to her father. But of course, and like in the first Sicario, they use federal police to help with the escort. But of course, like in the first one, the federal police are corrupted and they all work for Reyes. So they get ambushed by his workers with rocket launchers and whatever and whatnot, and they lose a couple trucks, a couple casualties, and they have to shoot their way out. So basically what Josh and Benicio's character end up having to do is kill a bunch of federal Mexican police, which gets him in trouble with his main boss, Catherine. And so the Secretary of State decides to scrub the mission. And in fact, he wants to scrub the mission to the point where he wants Josh Brolin's character to eliminate not only his most trusted asset and the girl. So creates a conflict of interest. Of course, they get split up because the girl runs away during a gunfight, and Benicio's character goes to go track her. He finds her. So Josh's character calls him and say, hey, they're cutting ties. I need you to get rid of the girl. Benicio's like, I can't do it, and I need you to help me get over the border. Josh is like, I can't do it. They already put me in a position I can't. Blah blah blah. So they understand where they all with the situation is basically he knows he has to come out and try and kill him, and then Benicio has to get the girl to the border, back to her dad, without incident. Okay, so then this whole second act of Benicio and the little girl bonding, and he finds out he had a daughter in the family, and he's like, oh, so it was my dad, and he's like, yeah, your dad has a lot of enemies. He's the one that killed my family. So either this is an alternate timeline or a slight continuation of saying that there was more cartel members involved in Benicio's murdering of his wife and daughter. Okay, so now Benicio's plan is to use jackals or mules to get them over the border. Subsequently, the young boy that they met in the parking lot recognized him at the border, sets him up, and they pretty much get kidnapped in ambush, separated. The main jackal recognizes the girl as who her dad is and who she's the daughter of. Okay, so they take him out to this field to murder them. So now for the young boy to become a Sicario, he has to basically shoot Benicio's character dead, which it's implied that the young boy does actually pull the trigger, shoots Benicio, what we think will be in the face, head region, actually hits him in the jaw, and towards the third act, we thought Benicio was dead. He's not dead. He comes back. He's clearly went from cheek to cheek, which is at the angle of the bullet. I'm not going to get into the bullet angles and impact and exit wounds and entry wounds. It's the movies, y'all. He survived at the end. Okay, so then Josh and his Delta Force are coming to get the girl because they have a tracking device, because Benicio put a tracking device on the girl in her chute. So the coyotes kidnap the girl. They pull up in Black Hawks. They subsequently murder every jackal smuggler there. They take the girl back. Josh Brolin's character, the guy that plays Burn Notice, the glasses, he's like, well, what are you doing? We gotta kill everybody. Gotta make it clean. He's like, no, she's going to witness protection. So Josh Brolin's character pretty much breaks rank and undermines his boss's, which would be Kathleen or Catherine, her mission to put the girl in protective custody. Okay, so fast forward a year later, the young boy who's now Sicario, he's all tatted up. He's a hard ass now. He walks into the same mall to get his instructions. Well, lo and behold, Benicio's character is waiting for him, and instantly the kid's like, oh, you can see him just crap his pants, put his head down, his whole demeanor just changed. And so Benicio asks him, he says, so you want to be a Sicario? And so he closes the door and basically sets up the third trilogy for this anthology to teach the boy to be a Sicario. He's going to use the Sicario, or he's going to use the boy and to teach him to be a Sicario to kind of get back at the cartels. So mainly he's going to go back after the Reyes cartel and the Matamoso cartel as well. I liked it. Was it better than the first one? No, it is not. Is it still watchable? Yes, it is. It didn't have that one particular scene like it did in the first Sicario. If you remember the first Sicario, the border scene defined that movie. There was no scene defined moment in this particular movie. The tension was still there. It was just constant build up, and it kind of never happened, unfortunately. But like I said, still, I liked it nonetheless. I'm interested to see where they go for the third one. Now, keep in mind that no one knows that Benicio's character is still alive, because technically he's still on the kill list. He's still on Josh's kill list per his orders, per his superiors. Okay, and I will say that I gave a nice background as to the politics behind smuggling, human trafficking, the cartels, and the border policies. I like that aspect of it. They told a lot of insider information if you're keen enough to pick up on it. So once again, Sicario 2 Day of the Soldado, I liked it. I liked it a lot. Not as much as the first one, but I liked it enough to I would go back and see it again. Possibly if it comes on the TV, I will watch it again, because I'm sure there's some things that I missed the first time around. All right, so guys, that'll be a wrap. This is Super Slot 75. Movie reviews with a twist. You guys have a good one. Peace.